Hello students, in this video we will learn about the human digestive system. So human digestive system, it is broadly separated into two parts. One is called alimentary canal and number two digestive glands. So it is broadly divided into two parts. Human digestive system is broadly divided into two parts. One is called alimentary canal and another is called digestive gland. Now first we will discuss about the alimentary canal. So alimentary canal is a long tube. Alimentary canal is a long tube. You can see in the figure. This is the alimentary canal part. So it is a long tube of varying diameter, measures from 8 to 10 meters, 8 to 10 meters in length, and it is divided into different parts like first mouth. So here mouth. Number two vestibule, which is present in this side, vestibule. Then there is the oral cavity, the oral space or the cavity, or it is also called buccal cavity. And then this part is the pharynx portion. This is the pharynx. So first mouth. Mouth is a transverse slit bounded by two soft movable lips. Two soft movable lips, the upper lip and the lower lip. Mouth leads into the vestibule. Vestibule is a narrow space enclosed between the lips and the cheeks externally, and a pair of jaws internally. Its lining contains mucous glands and the vestibule leads into the oral cavity. This oral cavity is a large space bounded above bounded above by the palate, below by the throat part, and on the sides by the jaws. And the throat supports the tongue. And jaws bear the teeth. Tongue. It is a large, muscular, and highly mobile structure that lies on the floor of buccal cavity. Tongue in ingestion, helps in ingestion and tastes the food. It mixes with saliva with food and makes it soft and slippery. And tongue also helps in speech. Teeth in the upper jaw and in the lower jaw. An adult human being has 32 teeth, 16 in each jaw. That means in upper jaw 16 and in lower jaw 16. They help in cutting, biting, scraping, crushing, tearing and grinding of food and prepare it for swallowing. Now, human teeth are described as thicodont, typhiodont, and heterodont. Heterodont. Thicodont means such teeth are embedded in pits of jaw bones, and thus it is called thicodont. Why it is known as typhiodont? Because human teeth are typhiodont because these are formed in two sets. The first set of teeth that erupts in childhood is called milk teeth, or it is also called deciduous or temporary teeth, and these are shed after 6 years. These are shed after 6 years and are replaced by permanent teeth by the age of 12 years. Heterodont, why it is called heterodont? So human teeth are heterodont as they have different shapes to carry out different functions. These are of following four types: incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. Premolars and molars. The last molar, that means the third molar, are called the wisdom teeth. The last molar or the third molar is called the wisdom teeth. So the dental formula of the human adult is 2 1 2 3 by 2 1 2 3 into 2 is equal to 32. So it is indicating the upper jaw, the half part of the upper jaw and the half part of the lower jaw. So half part I am just taking from the upper jaw, and in that half part of the upper jaw, two incisors are present, one canine teeth is there, two premolars and three molars are present. In the lower jaw also same arrangement, two incisors, one canine, two premolars and three molars. And as we are taking the half part, that's why we are just multiplying it into 2, and finally we'll get 32. So that is the dental formula of human adult. So you can see the last one, 3 molars are there. Okay, and in that 3 molars, that means these are molars, 3 molars. So the last molar, this one, the last molar is also called as wisdom teeth. Next, esophagus. This part is called the esophagus. It is about 10 inches or 25 centimeter long. It is a muscular tube. It passes through neck and thorax. It pierces the diaphragm and enters abdominal space or in the abdominal cavity. Food passes down the esophagus by peristaltic movement of its muscular wall, and its opening into the stomach. This is the stomach portion. The its opening into the stomach is surrounded by a ring of muscles, and it is called sphincter muscle, cardiac sphincter muscles. So the main function of this esophagus is to transfer food from the pharynx to the stomach part. Next, stomach. This part It is the widest part of the alimentary canal. It is a J-shaped organ. It is placed obliquely on the left side. This is the left side. This is the right side. So it is placed obliquely on the left side behind the diaphragm. It has a greater curvature on the lower side. You can see greater curvature on the lower side and lesser curvature on the upper side. The main function, if we see the parts of the stomach before we move in the functional part of the stomach, just see the parts of the stomach. Suppose I am drawing here the parts. This is the stomach. This is the stomach. So this part I am drawing here. This is the stomach. So the stomach has four parts. This part is called fundus. Is called fundus. This part is called cardiac. It is called cardiac. C-A-R-D-I-A-C. Cardiac. This part is called body. Body. And this one is known as pyloric. So it consists of these four parts. Now the main function of this stomach, it stores food until it is partially digested. It secretes gastric juices from the inner line. From its inner lining, it mainly secretes the gastric juices, and that gastric juice, the juice or the gastric juice which mainly secreted out by the stomach, that gastric juice contains different type of enzymes, gastric amylase, gastric lipase. Gastric amylase helping in the carbohydrate digestion process, gastric lipase for the fat digestion process, and proenzymes like pepsinogen and prorenin by the which is helping in the protein digestion process after their activation by the HCl. Next is the small intestine. This part is indicating the small intestine. It is the small intestine part. So small intestine consists of three parts. It consists of three parts. First part, duodenum. It is written here, duodenum. Then, so this part is duodenum. It is the duodenum part. Then jejunum. This portion is called as jejunum. Jejunum. And this part, this portion is known as ileum. So small intestine consists of three parts: duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. Duodenum, it is the first part. This is the first part of small intestine. This is the first part of the small intestine. It is about 25 centimeter long and U-shaped in appearance. You can see U-shaped in appearance. Its descending limb receives the hepatopancreatic ampulla of the hepatopancreatic duct formed by the union of bile duct and pancreatic duct. So the main function of this duodenum, this part is very important because this duodenum, it mainly receives two kind of juices, one from the liver and another from the pancreas. So they receive the bile juice as well as the pancreatic juice. The duodenum, which is the front part or the first part of the small intestine, it receives liver juice or the bile juice as well as pancreatic juice. Both jejunum, that means this portion and the last part, both jejunum and ileum are greatly coiled and occupy abdominal cavity below the stomach and the liver. The main function of this duodenum, jejunum or ileum or small intestine, this part completes digestion and absorption. And from this small intestine part, there are different kind of hormones. Digestive hormones are mainly secreting out from this part, like cholecystokinin, secretin, enterogastrin, duocrinin, enterocrinin, vilkinin. So these are the name of some gastrointestinal tract hormone, or it is also called as GI tract hormone. GI tract hormone or gastrointestinal tract hormone. So these hormones, the main function of this hormone is that control the secretion of pancreatic juice, bile juice, and intestinal juice. So gastrointestinal hormones or GI tract hormones control the secretion of bile juice, pancreatic juice, as well as the intestinal juice. So it is mainly controlled by the hormones of this GI tract or gastrointestinal tract hormone, secreted mainly from the small intestine. The next part is the large intestine. So this is the large intestine. You can see this part is the large intestine. And large intestine is wider than the small intestine. It is about 1.5 to 1.8 meters or 5 to 6 feet long and 6 centimeter in diameter. So this large intestine, it is divided into three parts. One is called cecum. This portion here is called cecum. This is the cecum of the large intestine. The second part is colon. So it is known as ascending colon. This part is called transverse colon, and this portion is called descending colon. And the third part or the last part of the large intestine is called rectum. This is the rectum. So here it is cecum. This portion is the colon, and the last part is the rectum. Here it is written rectum. Now this rectum part, if you see the last part, the rectum, it follows this portion, it follows the colon. It is about 20 centimeter or 6 to 8 inches long tube that terminates into a 2.5 centimeter long anal canal, that is the anal canal, that opens to the exterior by the anus. And this anus is mainly guarded by two sphincters, internal sphincter and external sphincters. So these are the parts of alimentary canal. Now move to the digestive glands or glandular parts of the digestive system. So there are different type of digestive glands are present, like salivary glands. Salivary glands here, okay. So there are the three pairs of salivary glands in human. The first salivary gland is called as parotid gland. That is the parotid gland. This is the parotid gland. Um, Parotid glands are the largest salivary glands and are situated in front of the ears. Second, sublingual glands. So this gland is called sublingual gland, and these lie under the front part of the tongue. And here another gland is present, that is known as submaxillary gland. So these lie at the angles of the lower jaw. So these salivary glands here, the sublingual glands, the submaxillary glands, and the parotid glands here. So these glands or the salivary glands secrete saliva. So saliva is secreted by the salivary glands. It is a watery fluid, almost neutral, with pH between 6.5 and 7.5. It contains an enzyme. That means in the saliva there is one enzyme is present, and the name of that enzyme is salivary amylase or ptyalin. Salivary amylase or ptyalin. And this ptyalin, it mainly helps in the digestion process. It helps in the digestion process. It mainly converts the starch into the maltose. That is the function of this ptyalin or salivary amylase, secreted mainly in a juice or in the salivary juice from the salivary gland. Next, gastric gland. Gastric glands means the inner part of the stomach, that mainly known as gastric gland. So these are numerous simple or branched tubular glands present in the mucosa of the stomach. That means the inner lining of the stomach is mainly consist of glandular part, that is called the gastric gland. And these glands have different type of cells like peptic cells or oxyntic cells, then mucus cells, then argentifin cells, endocrine cells or gastrin cells or the G cells. So there are different type of cells are mainly present in this gastric gland of the stomach. And these gastric glands, they are secreting the gastric juice, and in that gastric juice protein digestive enzymes, then carbohydrate and fat digesting enzymes are mainly present. The next gland, liver. Liver, it is the largest gland in the human body, and its weight about 1.5 kg or 3 to 10 human. And it secretes one digestive juice that is called as bile juice, and that bile contains, that means from the liver there is one secretion that is called the bile or the bile juice, and that bile contains bile pigments, bile salts, bile pigments like bilirubin, biliverdin, and bile salts like sodium taurocholate, sodium glycolate, and sodium bicarbonate. And the another important function of the liver is that ammonia produced by deamination of amino acids in hepatic cells, that means the liver cells, is converted to urea. So liver, it is the site for the production of urea. There is a specific pathway is present to form this urea inside the liver, and that is called the ornithine arginine pathway or Krebs ornithine arginine cycle. So that is the another important digestive gland, helping through its secretion in the digestive tract, because that bile juice or that juice which mainly secreted from the liver, it is helping in the digestive system through the digestion process, by the digestion process. Then the another digestive gland is pancreas. This is the pancreas, this part it is labeled here, pancreas. This is the pancreas. There is the another important digestive gland. Now this digestive gland, the pancreas, it has both the endocrine as well as the exocrine property. It has both the exocrine as well as the endocrine property, thus it is also called as mixed gland. So it has the exocrine part. The exocrine part of the pancreas is called acini, and this acini part, it mainly secretes the pancreatic juice. So pancreatic juice is alkaline, having pH 7.5 to 8.5, and it contains sodium bicarbonate. And in that pancreatic juice there are different types of enzymes are present like trypsinogen, that is the inactive form of trypsin, chymotrypsinogen, that is the inactive form of chymotrypsin, and procarboxypeptidase, that is the inactive form of carboxypeptidases. And the endocrine part, that is known as islets of Langerhans. And in the endocrine part there are different type of cells are there, alpha, beta, delta cells are present, as well as F cells or PP cells are present. PP means pancreatic polypeptide cells. So alpha cells, it secretes glucagon, beta cells secretes insulin, delta cell, it secretes somatostatin, and the last PP cells, or it is also called F cells or pancreatic polypeptide cells, secrete pancreatic polypeptide hormone. So this way the secretion of pancreas, it is also helping in the digestion process. So this is about the digestive system and its different parts and their role in the digestion process. So thank you student for watching this video.